Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at the CRKT Crawford Triumph. This is yet another collaboration between a custom knife designer and a production knife manufacturer, being CRKT. I love it when these collaborations are done because it gives a person an option to own something that one of these custom knife designers have created at a price that, you know, like you and me can afford, not the people that have a lot of money that are collectors and buy these $600 to $1,600 custom knives, which is what you would pay for the custom Triumph straight from Pat and Wes Crawford. That is the designer or designers of this knife, the father and son, Pat and Wes Crawford. They make some extraordinary custom knives, and you should definitely check them out. Unfortunately, this knife has been discontinued. It originally sold for between $80 and $100. The list price on the website, CRKT, was $149. But typically sold for around $80. Then in 2012, Woot was selling these things for $40. And then Sportsman Warehouse in November 2014 sold this for $25. That's when I grabbed it. You could have grabbed it too, by the way. I'm going to do a pitch here for my website, gearobsessiondeals.com, and I'm providing the link below. This was listed on my website when it was $25, and you could have grabbed one too if you checked out the website. Also, in the upper left hand corner of the gearobsessiondeals.com website is a place where you can sign up for the newsletter, so every day you would get a email with all the new posts, so you do not miss out on deals like this. This is a custom collaboration that typically sold for $80 that I walked away with for $25. So let's talk about this knife. The knife came in a typical CRKT box, which by the way, you open up like this. Don't try to open up the side or you'll rip the box. This is a tactical folder. It really doesn't serve too much of any other purpose, and that's probably why it didn't sell too well. It's a recurve or reverse curve Tanto blade, so you can see how that sort of curves the opposite way that a normal edge would, which really limits its capability. However, because of the way that this knife is designed, it is, number one, extremely strong because it's a Tanto blade, but number two, because of the way this is designed, it makes a crazy good slashing knife. This thing can slash, so it is a tactical and defensive and fighting kind of knife, and really not too good at much anything else. Overall length of this knife when open is 8.5 inches. When closed it's 5 inches. And weight is a heavy 6.3 ounces. Blade length is 3.5 inches. Thickness is 0.14 inches. The steel of this blade is AutoLAWKS 8. Has an HRC of 58 to 59, and it has a EDP finish, which is sort of like an epoxy finish, and it's black, non-reflective. Also helps protect the knife because the blade is only AutoLAWKS 8, so it's nice that you have that extra coating there to provide some extra protection against the elements. The grind is hollow, and the blade shape is that modified Tanto with that reverse edge right there. I'm going to go ahead and let you take a close look at that. While we're here, you can see some really good jimping, by the way, which sort of extends from the jimping on the back of the handle here. So you have a lot of area for your thumb to give you some extra purchase. Again, dual thumb studs. That's the way they look right there. And you can see Crawford design. Really good looking blade. False swedge on the top. Definitely a good penetrator and good slasher. Very strong blade. Okay, handle material. That's another outstanding feature of this knife. It has G10 scales, and you can see the cutouts right there. And this texture is extremely grippy. Your hand is not going to slip. Between the jimping, the very aggressive traction on these G10 scales, and these choils that your hand just melts into, there is no way that you are going to lose this knife out of your hand. I like even reverse grip because the way the handle is shaped right there, really good. Now the G10 covers the liner, which is made of 420 J2 steel. So, and they're not skeletonized, so that's why this knife weighs so much. Now to fold this knife, it's a little tricky. It has the AutoLAWKS lock right here, the AutoLAWKS lock. So in order to fold this knife, you have to pull back on this lever, and as you're doing that, as you're pulling back on that lever, then press the liner lock over, and then you can fold the knife. So it's sort of a two-step process, or three-step process right there. It takes a little getting used to, but once you do that, you could do it one-handed, but it is a little awkward, but it makes for a stronger knife. It's not going to fold up on you because there's no way to move that liner over unless you pull back on there. Also, as you can see, this thing is this is a auto opening knife, or assisted opening knife. You can see how powerful and fast this opens. It's incredible. And you could tell right there it has a torsion bar that makes this knife flip out really fast. Now also, if you look down in here, I'm going to need to grab a flashlight. There is a screw. Let me see if I can get this sort of in there. You can see it right there. There's a screw. You would have to be looking right around that area there. What that screw is, you can go ahead and remove the torsion bar. So if you don't want an assisted opening knife, or if there's laws or regulations for assisted opening knives in your area, you could remove that torsion bar and make it into a normal knife. You can see part of the torsion bar right here in the back of the knife sticking out. And again, because of this is the liner sort of extends out over or beyond the G10, this could easily be a glass breaker or an impact device. The back of this handle right here, really nice solid knife. So also on this side you can see a clip. The clip, you cannot reposition it, so it is tip down, right-handed only carry. So unfortunately they left out 15% of the population there. But it's discontinued, so there's no way to fix it. Also, no lanyard hole in this knife either. So we already talked about ergonomics, outstanding ergonomics. The blade does not have any up or down or side-to-side play. When you do fold this up, blade centering is spot on, and retention is really good. So let's go ahead and check lockup real quick, and you can see right there lockup is perfect. It is completely behind the blade with room to wear to the right, so it should last a long time. By the way, looking down inside here, the washers look like bronze, phosphorus, or brass washers. They're not the cheap Teflon washers. Alright, paper cut time. Not impressed there. Let's go ahead and do that again. Alright, it's reasonably sharp. It could probably be sharpened up just a little bit more. Time for a little bit of hair test here. And it's sharpening, or it is shaving a little bit of hair, but not very well. So it could use a little bit of sharpening. But believe me, it's sharp. It does hold on to the nail when I do that, so it's definitely sharpened up, but it could get a little bit sharper. Let's go ahead and stab some pine wood. I do this because this is relatively soft wood, and I just sort of stab the wood and rock it back and forth to see if the tip gets damaged. If this is heat treated properly, there should be no problem. You can see how deep that is in there. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the tip, and it did perfect. Passed all the tests. As it sits right here, if you're looking for a fighting knife or a defensive knife, I would recommend this knife, especially if you catch it on sale. Right now, if you ever go to Amazon, there's one available. It has like a tiger stripe pattern on the blade, and it's selling for $99 because these are extremely rare now. There's really not too many available, but keep a watch out for my my site, the GearObsessionDeals.com website, because if this does show up on sale on places like Woot or deal, one of the deal sites, Sportsman Warehouse or something like that, I'll put it on the GearObsessionDeals.com website, and you could grab it for the price that I had gotten this for was $25, and it's definitely worth that. Really good fighting knife for an awesome price, made by a custom, or designed by a custom knife designer, made by a great manufacturer, CRKT. Alright, well, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and especially you, and I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye.